Says we're live here, going live here. Crypto Hulk, welcome back to the members only show. First person here, it was Crypto Hulk. Just kidding, just kidding. It's Crypto She Hulk. Wow, so happy to see you online. Setting the show up. I don't know where you are located in California, Northern California. 6.4 earthquake near Humboldt. I think that's like 4 hours from me. Where I'm at, there's really no earthquakes. And there's buildings where I've seen kind of where I'm at that have been around for like 100 years or 150 years are still standing. So it's obviously not too bad where I'm at. Yes. Okay, we got a good little show lined up. We got Julie Renee, Joshua Matthews here, Heather Hadley, Stone B. Terry. Thanks for making the videos, even though you don't have to. I kind of like it. It's kind of like what I used to do for work. There's a lot of similarities what I used to do to work and this. I'm an hour south of Hulk. It was about 2:30 by Eureka. Eureka. I felt about two earthquakes living in this apartment. It was pretty scary. I could feel it going. Like there was one about 8 months ago, and then one about 2 years ago. Yeah, it fucking scared me too. I felt the house apartment kind of shaking. I'm like, fuck. I lived in the San Francisco Bay Area when the big one happened. I was in a house where I could hear the rafters shaking. I'm like, damn, this motherfucker's coming down on us. Like I could hear the wood literally like rubbing up in the rafters and shit. And it was like I was terrified. Then I walked into a grocery store. I drove home about an hour away, walked into a drugstore, and there's all this shit all over the floor. And I'm like, why is all this shit on the floor? It's like, we just had an earthquake. I'm like, oh, yeah, of course. The one time I was driving in California and I literally felt the road kind of do this. And then I'm like, I think I'm tired or something, right? Because the road kind of did one of these or something. I'm like, well, that was kind of a weird part of the road. And then after that, I heard like an hour later on the news, San Francisco Bay Area, 7 point whatever on the Richter. And I'm like, fuck. Henry Brown's been 7 years, Hulk. Tired of being broke. Yeah, I know. I know. I know. Me too. This is where we all downtown Henry Brown, huh? Okay, let me focus. Hocus pocus, focus pocus. I'm going to go give you the Articulo by Jove, in case you want to follow along, eh? This is the only channel that does this kind of shit. People will never do this kind of a show because you lose so many viewers. You end up having like barely anybody watch them. But my show's unlike any other. I just want people to really, really appreciate these shows. I have to study a lot of shit for these. All right, Issa, thanks very much for your donation to the channel. Long-time viewer. Okay, I'm going to not look at my screen for just a little bit here. I'm looking at the same thing you are. Look what the title of this one is. FSB, Financial Stability Board. So let me tell you something. You've got the Financial Stability Board coordinates at the international level. This is massive, okay? The work of national authorities. So the FSB talks to each country top people, say, here's what you're going to do. You see how this goes? It's not by choice. You're going to fucking do it. That's pretty much what it is. The FSB is the boss of the world. That's how this is done. It's not like each country is going to be like, gee, we're going to make our own. No, the FSB has already made all the crypto laws for everybody. Now, everybody's going to play and pretend like they're doing it themselves. Okay? That's what we got going on globally. This is what the members shows you is the reality of. Unfortunately, this is the reality of how it has to go. They will. The FSB is in charge of all the other agencies, and what they will do is develop and promote global regulations. The FSB, and I'm going to name off the other agencies, global agencies, they will develop all the guidelines and plans and everything. Then they will give them to all the countries. Then all the countries will go to work really hard, making it look like they're doing something, which they've already been given all the answers and all the guidelines and all the framework. They just have to kind of type it up and slap it together and it's going to work, okay? But they're going to make it look like they're really doing something for us, when in fact they're not. They're serving themselves. Here's the other agencies involved. You got the BIS, which is the Bank of International Settlements. They're going to be calling all the shots for the banks, okay? You've got the FSB, which we just mentioned here, Financial Stability Board. What they are is like the overseer. They are like the hub in the center of a wheel. They have the other agencies report to them, and they kind of look at stuff, and if it's good, they'll be like, okay, yeah, we could use this. And the FSB is like, no, hey, BIS, take that out and try to find something else better. You're like, okay. So let's just say the FSB is the boss. Then you got the IMF, International Monetary Fund. That's like the world's bank. They hold all the money. Like if the United States needs money, they get it from the IMF. But they have to go through the Bank of International Settlements, the FSB. I'm just breaking all this down. Then you got Basel. We went over Basel the other day, where you get into the Group 1 and Group 2 cryptos and stuff type things. Basel is the Committee on Banking Supervision as well. So you got the Bank of International Settlements, and Basel works with banks specifically. Then you have what's called the CPMI, which is the Committee on Payments and Markers Infrastructure. You have something called the IOSCO, the International Organization of Securities Commissions. You know Gary Gensler? This is his boss, okay? Then you have what's called the Financial Action Task Force, FAT. I'm not saying fat fuck, but it's fat. Okay, now we got that done. Let me check comments real quick and see what we got here. Then I will be going on. Are you having a Patron Silver Mojito anytime soon? Not right now. I don't know what I'm going to drink after the show. I got some good stuff at Costco I'll have to pick. I got some Basil Hayden, some Don Julio Blanco, some other crap. All right. Let me get into this one. Just took the dive. Remember? No BS. No BS. So DGS Crypto is here. All right. Let me go back up to 77 pager. Okay, we're going to go to page 5. So I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to tell you exactly where I'm going so you can follow along if you want. You don't have to. Some people like to. Page 5. Okay, what we got here, this is the meat and the potatoes of this whole fucking 77 pages, okay? You've got points 1 through 9, okay? Let me make sure there's not anymore. Okay, there's 9. That's the framework. These are the 9 points, the 9 basic points of this whole paper. This is what they want to do. Number, I'm not going to read them all, but I'll give you an example. Maybe I'll read 1 or 2 or 3, and then you can read them on your own later. Because I'm trying to keep this moving, and if I read all this shit, man, we'll be here like 2 fucking hours, and everyone's going to be all... And then Tequila Fun 2 is going to be asking me questions about Don Julio, something totally unrelated. It won't even make sense. Okay, number 1, authorities should have the appropriate powers and tools and adequate resources to regulate, supervise, and oversee crypto asset activities and markets, including crypto asset issuers, service providers, and such. Okay, what this is basically saying is that each country is going to have the proper money and the proper management. It's not going to be like, we don't know what to do. We're not going to spend any money on this. We don't know how to do this. No, that's not going to be an option. Says here, number 2, authorities should apply effective regulation. Now remember, they can't force these countries to do this. They have other ways of doing. They have other ways of forcing countries, like cutting them off the SWIFT system, which is pretty much worse. Okay, so authorities of those countries, of every country, will apply effective regulations. They're telling these countries, you're going to do this. You're going to supervise crypto. You're going to be oversight to crypto activities. Let's skip down to another number. Let's try number 5. Authorities, as appropriate, should require crypto asset service providers, like exchanges, right? Or whatever, money service business, whatever you want to call them, to have an effective risk management framework that comprehensively addresses all material risk. What's going to happen is all the banks in all these countries are going to, now remember now, the FSB is going to give all these countries the templates. So it's going to be easy, okay? They can kind of look at this template, add here, take out there, and so forth. They're not going to have to reinvent the wheel, all right? So Honduras, Philippines, like these poor countries, right? Some places in Africa and stuff, different countries. They're not going to have to figure out all the shit. No, the FSB is going to give you a template, and it's real easy. When I worked in probation and I did my reports, I had a template that was issued by the state, and then the state would break it down to the county of probation, and that county would have like a format that was state compliant, you know. Now, different states have different templates for their probation officers. So the report's not tough, it's a little tricky. The tough part is you want to convince the judge, the district attorney, and everybody like that, okay? So when we wrote the report, but so what this FSB is doing is it's going to give every country a template. How, like for instance, these 9 points here, I'm not going to get into any more of them. You can look at them. I'll just summarize some of these things. But let's say, how does a crypto company become legal in your country? The FSB will have a whole process. Step 1, step 2, step 3, how you actually start a crypto company. You can't just start one. You got to go apply it, government office, whatever, fill out a permit. Then you got to show this. And you got to show. They have it all for you. The FSB has all this organized out on a template. All the countries have to do is cut and paste and clip out and delete whatever they don't want. Then what's going to happen is someone's going to shoot it back to the FSB. Financial Stability Board will review Cuba's plan, will review the United States plan. They'll review like 180 fucking plans. And then when it's all good to go, green light, we're rich, okay? Let me check some comments and I'll move on after this. She-Hulk slang, appreciate it. Oh, we got. Does the DGS? We're not talking about DGS now. Brett Martin, listening to the best out there while at work, searching on Amazon for an old-fashioned maker to make some tasteful whiskey. Well, you know, I got some ideas on that, but I'm trying to focus right now. Okay, next. So we were on page 5. So those are all the bulk of what this paper is about. Let me scroll down. Page 6, read the first paragraph. I got notes for myself. Hopefully they're right. Read the first paragraph. Then the second paragraph talks about accelerating. Okay, got it. Yeah. So page 6 out of 77. Now, I'm going according to the page 6 that's at the top. I'm not going according to the pages that's on the actual paper. Like the actual paper has the page numbers at the bottom or the top. Let me see. It's at the bottom. Okay. So I'm not going according to the paper itself. I'm going according to the PDF format or whatever at top. My page is showing page 6 out of 77. I'm going to read where it says introduction, the first paragraph. Crypto assets as defined by the FSB. Notice how they're giving the definition. Crypto assets as defined by FSB. Why? Because they will be coming up with all the definitions. They will then give them to all the countries, and then those countries say, oh, we've got definitions now. But what they don't tell you is they came directly from the FSB and not us. So just want to put that out there for you. Like I'm saying, the FSB is calling all the shots. We are in a global world. I mean, I'm not saying this is great. Like, this is very bad. Okay. But we're entering a global world, and these 5 or 6 agencies are telling the whole world what to do. Like it or not, this is the global world that we're in. Okay. They're talking about here cryptography, distributed ledger. It says here crypto asset markets are fast evolving and at a point where they represent a threat to global financial stability. Let me explain something. Crypto is the new finances. So they're kind of lying here, in my opinion. They don't want to come out and just say it, but crypto, they're saying crypto is a threat to the globe. No, crypto is the fucking solution. Am I right or am I right? Okay. These people are fucking lying right here. So that's where Crypto Hulk comes in. I'm used to reading court papers about different things. I'm not new to this shit, okay? These people here are the puppet masters of the world. They're not trying to let everybody know that this crypto will be the bedrock, the foundation of our financial world. What they're trying to make the average person like you and me who reads this, oh, cryptos represent a threat to global finance. No, they're not, you fucking dummies. These people here are trying to lie to you. Crypto, what does it say? Crypto assets are not a threat to the global stability. Crypto assets are the solution to our global problem. Okay. Thank you, Crypto Hulk, for clearing that up. The third paragraph again talks about third paragraph talks about on the far right there to accelerate and deepen its work to monitor and share information on regulatory. So what do they want to do? They're talking about how crypto's moving fast. It says here in the first paragraph again, crypto asset markets are fast evolving. This next paragraph here talks about accelerate, fast, accelerate. What does that sound like to you? They're going to take another till 2025 for this fucking shit to go, or 2030? That shit's not going to happen. That's why I'm here to help you look through this paper, and I'll show you the bullshit when I find it. All right, next page. Page 6, last paragraph. Page 6. Page 6, asset issuers are going to collect and store data. The list on page 5 is very important. Well, I don't know what myself is talking about there. But what they're going to do, they're going to store all this information, okay? Unfortunately, every single country, every single city, every single store in the world is going to be under the purview of these 5 agencies. They're going to know everything we do. So I just wanted to put that in there. I can't see where my notes were. Let's go next to page 7. So scroll down. Okay, page 7, last paragraph shows how the FSB and the agencies it is directing to get global crypto regulations. Page 7, last paragraph. Where is that? Okay, there's only 2 paragraphs on the page. The FSB has been working closely with the IMF. So I showed you this already. This is what I showed you. The FSB has been working closely with the IMF, World Bank, Basel, the Committee on Payments and Market Infrastructure, CPMI, the Global Securities Commissions, which is IOSCO, and then the FATFUD. Okay, so There's 6 agencies right there. These people are running the world. Just thought I'd let you know. They're in charge of our banks, our securities, commodities, everything. Now I'm going to scroll down to page 8. Cryptocurrency in the future can spill over. Okay, what do we got here? I think, let me see. They're showing crypto assets and markets activity, and they're talking about interconnectedness. Okay, they're talking about, looks here like functions in crypto. You got creation, how you create a crypto. Okay, so here we go. They're going to regulate how every country creates a crypto. If you allow a crypto business in America, how is that going to be created? How is it going to be issued? How do you redeem these cryptos? How are they distributed? Is there insurance, like underwriting, market making, marketing and sales? Okay. What they're going to do, talk about wallets and custody here. Okay. They're going to regulate everything. They're breaking down crypto into every single part. And these people are going to regulate the hell out of it. Talk about insurance, talk about trading. How are you going to trade, borrow, lend? Sounds like DeFi. Sounds to me like they're going to get control of DeFi, which might be very bad for us. Okay. Unless you're a bank, I'm just letting you know this is not going to happen right away. So, what I guess is in the short term, there might be some wiggle room where we can get around and get in where we fit in and sell our shit off and make a few 100 million or something before they really crack down on all this shit. Okay, let me look here. Page 8, my notes say cryptocurrency in the future can spill over into traditional markets. It will. Cryptocurrency in the future will be the world market. So, that little lie again, these major agencies are trying to play this lie like, oh, we got to make sure crypto doesn't hurt the regular markets. That's the bullshit line they want people to distract with, okay? What they're not telling you again is this crypto stuff will become the traditional markets. If people heard that from like ABC News and shit, you better trust and believe they would buy so much of this crypto. That's why on my members channel, I'm showing you right here. Here's how everybody's fooled. All these people that aren't members on this channel, the news that they're hearing is, oh, we've got to get control of crypto because it could affect and hurt the traditional market. That's the lie they want the naive people to know. What I teach my members on this channel is they're lying because this crypto is going to be what we live on. This will replace the other. It's not like, oh, this crypto's bad and, oh, no, this crypto's taken over, bitch. They just don't want to tell nobody. That's why if you got friends and shit, and they're like, yeah, well, I've heard about crypto on the news. It's going to hurt the financial market. No, you dumbass. It's going to be the financial market. When people hear that, then they're like, wait a second. So this quote bad crypto stuff is actually going to replace what we got? And you'd be like, yep. And they'll be like, well, then shit, I need to buy everything I can. Yep. That's why I have the members only. Crypto needs regulations and controls, just like traditional markets, okay? My opinion is, now this is me, my opinion will be that crypto will be the future and the traditional market will fade away. Now, look, we still got the post office, right? If you want to send a letter, okay, to your grandma or something, or somebody lives somewhere and you want to mail them a package, okay, you got the post office. Do we write letters anymore? Probably not. You get on the phone, you take a picture, you do a 4K video. Sometimes, well, I'm not getting into that. I'll leave that one alone. But you know what I'm saying? It's like you don't send like pictures anymore. You send videos of stuff. We will always have the post office. We always have Bitcoin and Ethereum, but it's old technology. The banking world that we have now is going to disappear. That's what Crypto Hulk's telling the members right now. If members want to have some of their friends watch this crypto stuff will take over the fucking world. So while you're afraid, not my Crypto Hulk fans, but your friends and neighbors, well, I don't know. The news says, we've got to regulate. Elizabeth Warren says we got to regulate. It's dangerous. No, it's going to take over traditional finance. That's why they want to regulate it because it's taking over. So right now, when there's no crypto laws and you can buy the fuck out of this good stuff, all the poor people are gonna wait. It's sad. And when they finally realize, well, they're gonna wake up from this dream and be like, well, wait a second, crypto's taking over the world? Oh yeah, you didn't know? That's why my XRPs now is at $10,000. You're so fucked, you can't even buy one now. That's how the shit goes down. All right. We're seeing, you and me are seeing the transformation of crypto taking over traditional finance day by day. We're watching the transformation. Other people, oh, it's Sam Bankman. It's all scary. It's all nefarious activity. It's so sad. These people are going to go get so fucking wrecked. They won't have any crypto because they listen to Elizabeth Warren. Oh, drug dealers use it. And by the way, I'm a Native American. Oh my God. Page 9. Let me check some questions, then we'll go to page 9. Let me catch up here. Wait, hold on a sec. Okay. So I go from Brett Martin, Charles Looney, sitting in MCO, waiting on Bhutan. Let's see how these other exchanges. Diane asked a question. How is CBDC and regulation not throw us into a dystopian nightmare? Though we are pretty close already, the have and haves nots. Diane, they're going to figure it all out. Okay, that's what today's show is about. I'm showing you they're giving all the orders, they're giving all the regulations. Your question, how is the CBDC regulation not thrown us in a dystopian nightmare? I mean, they're going to figure it all out, and then that'll be our reality in our life. So if we know this ahead of time, we buy stuff first, lock it up in a hardware wallet. Don't be out there like these dumbass channels. Oh, go to Aave, my sponsor. Go to this. No, you don't do that fucking dumb shit. Okay. This is time to lock everything up because these people are going to take everything you fucking got under the guise of a national emergency. That's how they're going to take it all. When it's wartime, they can take whatever they want. That's how it's going to happen. They're going to have too many people going, oh, I'm going to take. See, the government doesn't have to go to court then. It's like to wash their hands nice and clean. Boom. Biden makes an executive order, shuts down every exchange in the country, seizes all crypto. You can't do a fucking thing about it. It's wartime. You don't want that to happen? Go to jail. That's your other option. Yeah. Rico Force, 44. Thank you, Hulk, for all you do. My pleasure. Thanks for your donations. You're going to thank me later when you guys are fucking super damn rich. And nobody's taking none of your shit because you listen to what I tell you about the hardware wallets and you're not trying to get 10% interest. Hey, give that fucking 10% interest, and then when the government takes all your shit, you're fucking broke. Don't ask me for a damn thing, all right? I'll be like, sucks being you. You should have listened to Crypto Hulk, but no, you wanted to follow that other fucking dummy on the TV. So there you go. Make your bed and lie in it. Okay. So true and sad. Yeah. Hey, listen to this show. No one's fucking taking a thing from me. It's not going to happen. Page 9. Let me go back to the article. You scroll to page 9 and see what we got here. Talks a lot about stable coins. Okay, here we go. Stablecoin, 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 stablecoin. That's what they're going to call the good stuff, okay? In my opinion, from this page, I'm hearing a lot of the word stablecoin a lot. And especially from the article I showed the other show about, what was that, global stablecoins. The three cryptos, the three X's, XRP, XLM, and XTC, those will be like the global stable coins because those will be backed. And then you'll have the other ones, the ISO, the cryptos that are already ISO compliant. Those will be the global stable coins as well. They'll be backed, have value and everything. That's why this page 9 talks so much about stable coins. a lot of talk about interconnectedness. Okay. That's the buzzword they got, is interconnectedness to the traditional finance world. They will be the traditional finance world. These cryptos, they're trying to look. I'm just going to tell you, they are the present and the future financial world. That's what we're looking at, is a transition away from regular finance to what we're going to have is called global stable coins. That's the word. The my beliefs are the crypto space as we know it right now is becoming the traditional space that we used to know. So the crypto space, whatever's going on in crypto right now, that's our future. So they're regulating it like they regulate everything now. That's what's happening. So you'll have a crypto security, a crypto commodity, a cryptocurrency, this, that. Some will be backed with gold, some will be backed with money, some will be with property, some will be securities, they'll be backed with assets of a business. Okay, but our whole world will be crypto. It's not like, oh, we've got to gain control of this little portion of crypto. No, this whole portion of crypto is taking the whole fucking world over. That's what's happening. People don't see it because the news doesn't want you to until it's too late. They want you fucking broke. So that page 9 just really has a, that's pretty much what it's about. Stablecoin, 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 interconnectedness. That's what page 10, I'm going to go next to page 10. It's clear to see that crypto will become and replace traditional finance. That's what I got when I read page 10. It was very clear that crypto will replace traditional finance. Here they go again with the word interconnections between crypto asset market and the wider financial system. They're showing a connection, but that's actually false. There's going to be a transformation. That's what Crypto Hulk says. Okay. So their words are there's interconnections, but Crypto Hulk is saying, let's make that even more clear. It's going to transform into our traditional finance. Okay. And traditional finance, as we know it, is going bye bye. Page 11. Uh, Crypto and traditional finance is similar. Read the last sentence of the first paragraph. Okay, so here we go. Page 11, the last sentence of the first paragraph. Further, crypto asset market participants may be, oh, here we go, may be acting in non-compliance, with legal and regulatory requirements in some jurisdictions. That means what they're saying here is maybe some of the stuff we got on the wallet, it's a security. Maybe this, maybe we've bought, I didn't buy none. Well, maybe VeChain might be, but I'm just telling you, they're letting us know that some of us may be acting in non-compliance. So basically, I don't fuck care. They can go fuck themselves. All right, next page. What I did is I skipped from page 12 up to 16 because I didn't find anything that was different. Remember, I've already done a Basil before, so I'm going to skip up to page 16 because some of that from 12 to 16 overlaps, and I didn't find a lot of useful information. It talks about anti-money laundering. So I'm going to go to page 16 right now. The rest of this will start speeding up real quick. The first half of this lecture is the pages take longer to go through, but now we're going to burn through 16 to 77 pretty quick. Let me check the time and see where we're at. If we have any questions, we're at 34 minutes. I could probably pull it off hopefully in 20, 15 maybe. Okay. Gold's at 1800 right now. He wants the link. Okay, here's the link. same link. I sent it just a bit ago. Reno. All right. Now on page 16, let me look. Cross-border cooperation. Cryptos have to be treated the same in every country. You can't have an XRP. Now I'm just adding this. You can't have an XRP as a security in the USA and not in Japan. So in page 16, number 3.3, it talks about cross-border, listen, cooperation. All countries will cooperate in deciding what cryptos are securities, commodities, currencies. So what Gary's doing is just totally opposite of this. Well, we'll see. It's all fake anyway. I'm just letting you know Gary's fake as well. Same page, 3.4 talks about risk management related to wallets. Okay. This will be a little bit troubling. This portion here, they're going to come after the wallets too. What are my notes on this? Wallets, because he talks about wallets are currently unregulated. They could, okay, so they talk about the wallets of today, they're unregulated. They're like, they could break and all this kind of stuff. Well, if you write down your keys, that doesn't matter. But they don't tell you that because they're trying to scare you again and scare the public. Talks about wallets. Talk about wallets are not anti-money laundering, KYC. Terrorists can use them. There they go again with that dumb shit, right? So if you wanted to read through that, they talk about all those things I just mentioned on page 17. I'm not going to get into reading stuff like that. I just told you they try to give you the idea that these wallets, oh, they're not regulated and terrorists can use them and shit. If you want to read that on your own on page 17, that's fine. Page 17, at the bottom of the page, you'll see some notes. The notes start with 20, 21, 22, 23. 24 is what I'm talking about here next. Page 17, at the very bottom, there's notes, number 24. And I read, a recent 10Q filing with the SEC, United States, by a trading platform offering custody services indicates that custodially held crypto assets may be considered to be the property of a bankruptcy estate, and that in the event of a bankruptcy, the crypto assets we hold in custody on behalf of our customers could be subject to bankruptcy proceedings. Okay, so what is this telling you? Crypto Hulk has told you from day fucking one, do not put your shit on an exchange. You won't hear that from Bearable Bull, Digital Asset Investor, Brad Kimes, none of these fucking clowns, any of them on the whole fucking internet like me for 3 years. Why? Because Crypto Hulk's going to tell you why. When you put your shit on an exchange, the SEC has already allowed something called a 10Q, all right? It means all your shit's going bye-bye, right? But when you watch Crypto Hulk channel, and if you do what Crypto Hulk says, you don't have to worry about a fucking thing. Digital Asset Investor could have gotten destroyed. So with Brad Kimes and all these other ones. When Coinbase, if Coinbase were to go bankrupt when they were kind of talking about it, all these guys, crypto would have been gone. Okay. And yours as well. And then Crypto Hulk would have said, told you so. All right. But no, because they want to make it look exciting. So yeah, I'm going to get me some of this on Coinbase. You know these guys say that. Yeah, I'm going to go top out, I'm going to back the truck up. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to keep my position ready. No, you're going to get your position ready to get fucked, okay? By watching these dumbasses. Next, page 18. Let me scroll down here. Page 18, trading, lending, and borrowing. They're coming after your DeFi, just letting you know, okay? Page 18, 3.6. Scroll down to 3.6. Talks about data management and disclosure. Exchanges can do all kinds of illegal stuff and not report or be inspected. Exchanges and lending platforms to be just like banks. What they said in 3.6 and all that is these exchanges right now have no regulations. So that's why Sam Bankman can buy his parents a $30 million house with your crypto money on his exchange and all these bad things. Here's what's going to happen. These 6 agencies I told you about, these 6 global agencies will control the whole world and they will control the whole crypto space. Every exchange on this planet will follow all the rules of these 6 agencies, or that country will be in serious fucking trouble. All right. Next, page 19, 3.7. So scroll down to 3.7. Let me check comments and make sure everything's good and I haven't lost anybody and everybody's still here and nobody's left. Gold will go to give the bank solvency. Okay, get ready to national debt clock. Okay, Mark Horna, fucking Mark Horna. Vulcan Aussie. I seen a discussion that gold should be way higher. Okay, weight loss and fitness. Barrel Bear is now copying your talking. Barrel Bull is now copying my talking points. Wow, told you. See, I'm a fucking leader. I'm not being arrogant about it. I just am. These other fucking channels have no idea. All they do is hype, 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 and then they have all these people send them news. See, I find my own news. These people sit around their fat asses all day. They make their little 15-minute shows because they got all these people sending them shit. They watch my show and they tag it. Like one guy tagged Coach JV and said, "Hey, Coach JV, watch what this Crypto Hulk has on this." That's how they do it. And they, Brad Kimes, I had to block the little troll that Brad Kimes has because he used to on all my shows have this little fucker guy put at Brad Kimes on such. So I've completely annihilated. That's what these people do. They get on my show to try to find the information and then they go make their shows. That's how it works. Already know. That's why I'm the best. F. Deep Diver Tequila Fund. Now that's what I'm talking about, F. Thank you, Hulk. That's Q10 filing is Deep Hulk TV. All right, let me focus. Page 19, back to work. Back to work. Page 19, 3.7 talks about the dangers of exchanges having vertical integration. Okay, this is important. This is like a Sam Bankman-Fried. Okay, the Financial Stability Board and all these agencies are gonna get rid of vertical integration. So what that is it's like, let's say if you're a crypto exchange and then you do DeFi, then you do custody, then you have NFTs, then you do this, then see what we're getting at? And you're a bank on top of it, and you're a bank like Sequoia or whatever, right? Does anybody see a problem with what I just said? Anybody see a problem with that? If I'm an exchange, I'm also the bank, I'm also the place where I store your money, I also make your NFTs. Are we seeing a problem with vertical integration? So normally you have to go one place to get your crypto, store it somewhere else. If you want to go with DeFi, you go to the other place, right? What they're going to eliminate is vertical integration. That's how Sam Bankman-Fried destroyed everybody because he's got his exchange, he's got his own bank. You see what I'm saying? He's got all the shit he needs. No, you're supposed to have somebody else custody, somebody else do the DeFi, but he's able to open up all the cash register drawers. Basically, Sam Bankman's got his hands in everybody's drawers. Okay, next. Monopolization, yes. But it's verticalization is more. Now, it depends on how big you get as an exchange, then it can become monopoly. Yeah. But what I was trying to explain specifically was vertical integration. That's something you need to know what that means. Okay, next we'll go to page 20. This one's big. This I put in parentheses meat and potatoes. Ooh wee. I like roast beef and I love like a good baked potato. I'm telling you. I don't know why I'm talking about that shit now. Well, because I haven't eaten since two. I eat my dinner around 2:30 p.m. Go to bed around 10, 11, and wake up fucking hungry. So that's why I can't stay up too late because then I'm gonna start eating. Okay, page 20, 4.1. Oh, I got something underlined here. Okay, recommendations to create international consistency of regulations and supervision. Okay, what we got here in 4.1 are objectives and scope. Now we're getting near the end of the paper. We really are. Because we're not going to go through pages 50 to 70. So we're kind of near the end. So what we're looking at here is now the proposed recommend. So what we've just already read, it says here the proposed recommendations seek to promote the comprehensiveness and greater international consistency. International consistency, all countries working together. You see why this is taking so long? Because you've got to have all these countries consistent. Okay. Oh, my leg. Hold on. You've got to have all these countries working together. That's why this takes a long time. People don't get along. Countries don't get along. Look at Russia and Ukraine. In order for all this to work, these countries have to have international consistency. They have to share regulatory and supervisory approaches to crypto. What if one country doesn't want to work with another one with crypto? It's just that's the fucking problem why it's taking so long. All right. Also on page 20, crypto, DeFi, crypto assets will meet the definition of a global stablecoin arrangement. Okay. So I have right here crypto asset activities that meet the definition. Now we kind of went over this the other day. Crypto assets that meet the definition of a global stablecoin agreement, that's group one and group two, should be subject to regulatory and now I got to scroll down, supervisory approaches that implement or use the FSB's recommendations. I'll leave it at that. What it's saying is this: if there's crypto and you want to use them in the globe, you will follow the FSB's recommendations or it's not going to happen. Okay. They're going to be the ones controlling all this stuff, not our own countries. This is where globalization comes in. Okay. We will be giving up our sovereignty in America to these six agencies. Do you understand the ramifications of that? We're no longer like the leader in the United States. Some people like it, be hate, great. Whatever it is, but this is how it happens when you start losing sovereignty of your country. When the United States stops calling the shots to everything on the planet, and I'm not saying it's good and bad, I'm just stating the facts. And we have a long time ago, then these six agencies now run the globe for good or bad. Let's go page 21, first paragraph. Supervisory. They have a template inside. Let me read this. Crypto asset markets are fast evolving and could reach a point where they represent a threat to global financial stability. No, they're not. They're taking over. So, right here, they're lying to us. Due to their scale, structure, vulnerabilities, and increasing interconnectedness with the financial system. What's going to happen? They're straight up lying to you. What's going to happen is there is an interconnected. Crypto will be taking over what we know it is the financial world. I'm just kind of looking through. Basically, on page 21, it's a very important page. I have a lot of stars by it. They have the template, like I've been saying, and the size of the country determines what and how to enforce. They already have this done. We think we don't have regulations. We already do. These people are telling us they are the regulations. Page 25. Going to page 25 next. We're getting near the end because I can feel it. My brain is starting to be wore out. 25. Crypto asset exchanges will have comprehensive governance framework. Okay, first paragraph. To foster effective cross-border cooperation. Here again, cooperation, and coordination. The FSB and the SSBs will continue to promote consistency and a common understanding of key elements of regulatory, supervisory, and oversight framework for crypto. They're basically saying we make the definitions of crypto. We determine what the regulations are. You all will work together to follow them. That's what they're basically saying on this page. There will be a framework. Down here it says authorities should require crypto asset issuers and service providers to have a robust governance framework. So they're telling you you will have crypto regulations, and we're going to give them to you. You'll understand them, and then you'll implement them. Page 26. Crypto asset issuers and crypto asset service providers must have anti-money laundering and counter terrorist stuff to make sure terrorists can't have crypto. They got to follow. It's called a travel rule. I kind of forgot what that means, but it's something where you got to like make sure people you know who they are when they're using crypto. Crypto wallets will be regulated, custodial wallets on page 26. Okay, what they're basically telling us is they're going to make crypto just like regular banks, all the rules. Crypto exchanges will have to follow the exact rules as a bank. And that's going to be very, very expensive and put most all these exchanges out of business. But mainly, they're not going to be able to cheat anymore. All this dumb shit that's going on, it's a free for all, for real. It's so insane the stuff that happened with Sam Bankman Fried because it's like, there's nobody. It's like having somebody's house and you know they're super rich. They went on a vacation, they left the doors unlocked, and you're gonna steal all their shit. Okay, the cameras don't work in their house, so they can't. You're gonna go in there and take all kinds of shit, man. There's no rules. That's what we got going on. Page 27. We're just about done. I got probably 3 minutes or less. Page 27. Exchanges to provide disclosures on their risk. Okay, on page 27 talks about disclosures. And again, what's going to have to happen are when exchanges are opened, they're going to have these things called disclosures, and you're going to know their like how they're set up to protect them. You're going to know everything. They're going to disclose everything that they have to. So all the public officials, all the inspectors will know everything that goes on in there. Like right now, there's no disclosures at all. Exchanges have no disclosure. It's like I said, a free for all. Nobody knows what's going on. Page 31. Okay, page 31 examines crypto companies and they have to list who performs the validation and who are the nodes. Okay. Page 31 talks about permission distributed ledger technology, talks about risks, operational risks, um, like loss of keys. If they lose keys, Talks about validator nodes and miners can be set up by anyone. What they're going to do, they're going to change. Like, if you're going to have nodes on your network, these 6 agencies are going to know. Like the nodes on the Ripple network, they're going to know. If you got miners, they want to know who are the people, who are all the miners, where do they work, where are they located, who do they work for. All I'm telling you, all this kind of stuff. Like right now, we don't know the names of any miners. Maybe okay, we know a few or something, but then you got people in China and different parts of the world, you and me, doing mining on our own, and so all these things are going to be like completely done. Like they're going to be like so registered out, like there's no more room to get in trouble. I'll leave that page alone. Those next 2 pages. Page 57 will be the last. Now we're going to shoot up 20 pages. This is the last page on this whole report. It's going to take me time to get down to page 57. 657. Okay. Number 40, note from the bottom of the page, talks about Aave. Oh, yeah. Digital Asset Investor promotes Aave and they're one of his sponsors. What does it say about Aave? I'm just curious. Somebody might want to tell him. Okay. Note number 40. For example, because what they're going to do is they're showing you bad companies. Like Aave is bad. Okay, it's like a scam. And here's why. So that's why I don't promote Aave, but Digital Asset Investor does and these other people. But I don't promote scam shit. For example, according to the information available on Etherscan, the top 100 accounts on Aave, those people own 86% of it. So let's say 100 people own like almost all of Aave. That's pretty fucked up, okay? It says the top 100 accounts of Aave hold 86% supply. You've got, they own 13,764 tokens out of 16 million. Do you really want to promote Aave on your channel? No, not unless you're fucking stupid, all right? It says, in particular, around 16% of the tokens, so very little, 16% of the tokens are held by the top holder, Aave token V2. So one person in that 86% group, they own like almost 3 million tokens, just them, like 16%. Just one person alone owns 16% of the Aave tokens. I would never get involved in anything like Aave, and I would tell you never to get involved in Aave. But, you know, these other people like DAI, he'll tell you to get into that. The second largest account is Staked Aave with around 13% of the tokens, followed by the Aave ecosystem, which holds 10% of the supply. So that's not a good thing. That has to be in a disclosure. So before you go invest in something in the, see, right now Aave is like scammy, okay, and you can get really destroyed. What you want is this kind of a disclosure, just like this. So, but see, Aave's not doing it because it's a scam company. Now, if they were a legitimate company, they'd have a disclosure that show you that 86% of Aave are held by 100 people. I would be like, no, I'm cool. I'm going to pass on that one. But that's why I don't promote dumb shit on my program. Keep you guys out of trouble. Let me check some last minute comments and then we're done. We made it in 1 hour. Oh man, that was something else. Regulation. If you ever Christmas, okay. Just smash that like. Smash the like button. Regulators are going to Guantanamo. I hope they all are. I hope they're all of our United States SEC, all of our regulators, Congress people, all of them go to Guantanamo for the rest of their lives. Okay. Um, I think that'll be it. We had a tremendous session where we learned that the regulations are already formed for us. We're going to see how everything's regulated, everything's identified, nothing's hidden, none of this stuff. They have it all figured out. You're going to have back tokens. We'll know which ones those are. Those will be the gold standard ones. And just, they have everything itemized. Um, that's pretty much how it's done. They're going to pass to all the different countries the templates. They're all going to figure it out. They won't have to reinvent the wheel. If they need help, they'll get help from one of the top six, those six people. Those agencies will send a delegation, whatever, to help them, these countries get going. Because we have to wait. Remember, you hear the word cooperation, global cooperation. So we all have to like work together. That's why it's taking so long. If you got a problem with like Russia and the US, maybe Russia's like, nope, we're not doing a fucking thing with this. Or maybe it's Zimbabwe is mad at some other country, Chad. So no, fuck it, we're not doing this. So we kind of have to get. That's why it keeps talking over and over: interconnected, interconnected, cooperation, this and that. That's what's taking so long. We just can't take off. United States and the G20. What about the rest of the world? It's not going to fucking work. So we have to get these little countries and get them going. And when that happens, then that's when we take off. Like I said, we will leapfrog the G20. Like, you might see Indonesia and Philippines, and they're starting to do all this. Once they got like the basis of crypto good to go, we could set a money, then the G20, we're going to leapfrog like a frog in front of them, hit the green light and say, go. We're not going to wait till everybody's equal and we have that. We're going to allow them to get in, but there's going to be some richer countries here, guaranteed. You know, that's how I see it. Heather Hatley, that was such a good show. Thanks for your efforts, Hulk. I always have to go watch one more time. There's a lot of information here. This is the future. Like you're seeing the evolution of the future. It's a little bit tricky. Like it's tough for me to like think of all this and break it down, and because it's kind of like, damn, this is how the world's really gonna be. Like, wow. But yeah, the deep lives, deep dives for deep lives. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. If I can find some good news, I will. I'll pretty much make a show. There's a lot of news going on. I'll see y'all then. My brain is tired.